Hi everybody, this is Dino Chris from Prehistoric Facts, and this is a Q&A episode. Let's actually get started, shall we? So, first question from Lukezilla. You got plenty of questions for me here. And so, first one, who would win, saltwater crocodile or Prehistoric? Okay, so we all know what a saltwater crocodile is, and they're found in the parts of, like, say, Indonesia, all the way up close towards Southeast Asia, and even towards Australia. And so we all know the size of the saltwater crocodile too. Can get over 20 feet in length and has the strongest bite force of any crocodilian, along with the Nile crocodile. And then Prinosuchus, believe it or not, it's an amphibian. It's an amphibian, and it can get close to 20 feet. When you look at this animal, it almost looks like a crocodile, but it's an ancient type of animal, an ancient amphibian. And so, who do I think would actually possibly win this fight in this one? But even though these animals never met each other, I'll go with the saltwater crocodile, because the saltwater crocodile is just heavily armored. You know, it's got all those bony scutes, and scales are a lot harder than what the amphibian skin is. And the amphibian skin is very, very thin, and so they need to be in water majority of the time. I think Prinosuchus might have the speed advantage, but biting force, power, and even like the armory and muscle, not going to have a chance. And I probably would say that the saltwater crocodile would actually win that one. And then your next one, uh, pa- Pentanal Panther or Thylacoleo. In my opinion, Thylacoleo wins. Yeah, I agree with you. I think Thylacoleo would have the much better advantage, because Thylacoleo, for many of you who don't know, that is the marsupial lion that was around during the time of the Ice Age in Australia, and it's a marsupial, an ancient marsupial, carnivorous marsupial. And so, and for Pantanal panther is actually just or Pantanal jaguar, excuse me, Pantanal jaguar is just a regular jaguar that you find in South America. And so I would probably say Thylacoleo as well, because like Thylacoleo's got the stronger bite force because of those teeth, and also how the jaw is structured, how the skull and jaws are structured to make a very much powerful bite. And also those claws on Thylacoleo can do some pretty hefty damage, too, even though they're used for grab and hanging on. But yeah, I would probably say Thylacoleo would have the advantage on that one. And then your last one here, who would win, Thylacoleo or cougar? So Thylacoleo is what we kind of consider to be called the saber-tooth marsupial. It would look like a cat, but it's not really a cat. It's kind of on the convergent evolution type of thing, where it would look like a cat, but there's a difference with it. The difference is that it's a marsupial, whereas, like, say, the saber-tooth cats, like, say, Homotherium or Smilodon, they're kind of part of the cat family. And so yeah, you get that. And then, of course, we all know what a cougar is, or it's also called known as a puma or a mountain lion. And so I'd probably say is that I'd probably go with the cougar on this one. Even though that Thylacoleo would have an advantage in terms of its size, and also a little bit of the muscular power, but I probably have to go with the cougar on this one, because of the fact it's got a stronger bite force and also has better agility. And so I probably would say the agility and the bite force of the cougar would actually do much, much better against Thylacoleo. All right, Alex, your question is: do you think that the absence of the non-avian dinosaurs was the reason and cause for the animals of the Cenozoic era to become more larger and more diverse? Good question. Um, do I think the extinction of the non-avian dinosaurs was like reason or cause was a reason and cause for the Cenozoic animals? So like certain reptiles, birds, and even the mammals to become larger, more diverse. Well, let's keep in mind here is that before the KPG extinction, which is the extinction of the non-avian dinosaurs, is that mammals were still small, but they were still pretty well populated around the planet, and so they would still be the size of like say some shrews. It would be the size of shrews, weasels, and even could be as could go as big as kind of saying being like pretty close to like say a basset hound. And then when you actually look at the Cenozoic mammals, they were out in the open, and then pretty much they got these different types of like diversities, and even got larger. Because you look at that and you see why is that when there's a niche that needs to be filled, it has to be filled. And so that would be the case here for mammals to have that jump to be able to get larger because there's more open spaces. And of course, there's not a lot of big predators out there that can actually go after them that much. Sure, there'll still be predators like say certain birds, reptiles, and so on and so forth. It's just that looking at how the Cenozoic mammals really became larger and diverse, that did play in a part of that the KPG extinction did have for these mammals to be able to become more diverse and even get larger. And so, yeah, that would be a really good. That's a really good analogy there, Alex. I like this question a lot. I think certain people just don't understand is the is why mammals really took over after the dinosaurs. Is that it's all about the ecological niche, and people don't understand the ecological niches that much. And so, not but even though they some of them do know the ecological niches. It's just that sometimes people just look at like the animals that went extinct and they think like, oh, they must not have been smart. Well, first and foremost, if they were successful, they were smart for their time. It's just that when something happens, like when that like ecological niche, which is basically the non-avian dinosaurs, once those that once those become extinct, uh, that hole has to be filled, and that ecological hole has to be filled with brand new types of animals that would take over that niche. And so, like your big predators, your large herbivores, so on and so forth. And so, yeah, that would be the. But that's a good question there, Alex. I like that one. Benjamin, is Plateosaurus the best known of prosauropods? We don't really say prosauropods anymore in paleontology. We just call that sauropodomorphs. But I'd probably say is that it is probably it is the more popular um, sauropodomorph, and so I probably would say it probably could be. It probably could be. Is Struthiomimus the best known of all ornithomimosaurs? I would probably say it's actually in line with uh, Gallimimus, even uh, Ornithomimus. So even playing field there. Let's call it an even playing field there with Struthiomimus, Gallimimus, and Ornithomimus. Those would be the ones that would probably say is best known. Is Postosuchus the biggest of all Triassic archosaurs? I don't think it is. For its time, I would probably say it is. It was the largest land archosaur that was on the planet. But there were other archosaurs that were a bit larger. Like Prestosuchus is actually in line for that because if you look at Prestosuchus, especially that really long skull it has, it is kind of like looking like it's like, whoa, this thing was pretty big for its time. But also you got other types of archosaurs that were slightly larger than Postosuchus. Postosuchus is one of them, but not the largest. And then your last one, who would win a Deltadromeus or Eocarcharia? So Deltadromeus belongs to the Neovenatorid type of theropod, so it's related to Neovenator. And Eocarcharia is kind of part of the Carcharodontosauridae family, But even though these animals are kind of somewhat related to each other, is that the Carcharodontosaurs were one thing, then you got the Neoventrids that were out there as well. But the Neoventrids did not get as large as the Carcharodontosaurids. But I would probably go Eocarcharia on this one because of the fact is that larger skull, bigger teeth, larger claws, and of course, Deltadromeus does have claws, and but the thing is, its teeth are kind of small, kind of smaller than Eocarcharia, and so I probably go Eocarcharia on this one due to muscle power and also how the skulls are designed. Is that even though that Deltadromeus hasn't had a complete skull that was found, I probably would say is that Eocarcharia would have the advantage on this one. All right, that's it for now. And the next week will be an extra episode, so stay tuned for what kind of topic I'll talk about. For that, it might actually have to do with the things that have happened in paleontology, even though the past week we've actually gotten a bunch of stuff from paleontology, like a new Tyrannosaurus Rex, a new Tyrannosaur, agility paper. We had a new Spinosaurus paper, and we got a new species. We got a new thing about Ankylosaurus too. So maybe I'll actually do that. Maybe I'll actually kind of do like a rapid fire type of thing for some of the news in paleontology most recently. And there'll probably be somewhat of an announcement at the end of that episode. So stay tuned for that as well. And so stay tuned for the extra episode that I'll be doing next week. And that'll be in the extra episode next week will be the last episode of 2022. So make sure you tune in for that as well. So tune in for that because this is that would be the last uh, Prehistoric Facts episode of 2022, and then we'll start the new year off in the first week of 2023 in January with a brand new episode. And so that would probably be a special episode. And so we'll start it off with the animal in 2023, a prehistoric animal in 2023, and so on and so forth. But make sure you stay tuned for the extra episode. And if you still want to send me questions about dinosaurs and other prehistoric life for these Q&A episodes, feel free to email me at dinochrist71 at gmail.com, or just go to my Facebook page, Prehistoric Facts of Dino Chris. Like the page, you actually post your questions in the comment section. Please put them in the comment section. Don't put them on Messenger. Messenger is for private conversations. So please put your questions in the comment section if you're on the Facebook page. And for you YouTubers out there, make sure you like the videos, subscribe to the channel, and also make sure you like this video so that way it gets spread out to other people that are interested in this kind of stuff in paleontology and prehistoric life. And share the video, share the channel to anybody that's interested in dinosaurs and other prehistoric life. Feel free to do that. And also subscribe, hit that, and stop on that notification bell so that way you can, just do it with your finger. Do that. And make sure you have your notifications turned on because that way you can actually get a notification from YouTube about the next video about a video that has come out in the week. And so yeah, so I do weekly videos, and that way you guys actually can know that I'm putting out some new content right there. And also for YouTubers out there, make sure you leave your questions in the comment section for these Q&A episodes because I do read them all. Your questions do mean a lot on these Q&A episodes, even in the Facebook pages and even the email questions. You guys are awesome. You guys have been killing it with these questions, and I love it. And and it means a lot for this channel, and so keep it up the good work and post your questions in the comment section for YouTubers out there for questions for these Q&A episodes, and make sure you keep your questions short and to the point. You can also follow me on Instagram at dino.chris.pf. I post pretty cool stuff on there. You can also follow me on Twitter at CSGRALL. It's my Twitter page. I post pretty cool stuff on there, but let's see how long that lasts. And also, take care of the people around you. Notice if you're younger people out there, make sure to listen to parents, your teachers, and your guardians. So, best motivation could have a good education. It's very important to have a good education. So with a good education, you're going to get a good job in the future. All right, that's it for now. And I'll see you guys next week.